Excuse me, sir? Mommy's trying to make a video with that.
Huh?
Can you put that back in? Thank you! Hey guys, welcome back. I could not step away from mom duty long enough today to finish my filming. It's 8 o'clock, the kids are in bed. I have wine. I thought this would be the perfect time for us to talk. It's difficult to watch this situation with Ukraine unfold without feeling some kind of anxiety. I get it. I tend to be an anxious person. So for me, this feeling like something may happen that's out of our control is very unsettling for me. And it helps in those situations to feel like there's an action I can take, even if it's a small one, to feel like I am just a little bit more in control and prepared for what might be coming. Now, the difficult part about this is that we truly do not know how this is going to affect us. Our lives could continue to go unwavered. We could see more inflation and gas prices increasing. Our economy could crash. Many people are talking about cyber attacks, our grid going down, not having any power, and of course the unthinkable, us entering into war and there actually being war on our soil, in which case you may need to evacuate your home. And thinking about all these different possibilities can be overwhelming. I totally understand. I started prepping back in November, and when I started my emergency preparedness journey, there was an overwhelming amount of advice and lists miles long of things that you would need to survive in any kind of situation. But Rome was not built in a day, and you are not going to amass a year's worth of supplies overnight. It's just not realistic. And unfortunately, time may not be a luxury that we have much longer. Please do not go out and panic buy and deplete your entire savings, because all it's going to do is exacerbate this food supply chain issue that we have. It will cause everyone to scramble and we will be worse off than we are now. But we can collectively go out, spend a bit of money, get a small emergency food kit prepared for ourselves, and then continue to build on our long-term storage preps little by little every time we go to the grocery store. Now, I've put together this emergency food kit for you with just $100 and one tote. You're going to feel much more prepared for anything that comes our way. Now, considering all of those scenarios I just described to you, it would not be in your best interest to go and buy a bunch of fresh foods, even foods that you can store in your freezer or in your fridge, technically for long term, considering one of our biggest threats right now is a grid down situation where we don't have power. What you need right now are things that are calorie dense, shelf stable, and for the most part, able to be eaten without having some kind of cooking mechanism. Now, before people come for me in the comments, let me just say, you may not be able to eat all of the food I'm describing. You might already have some of these things in your home, and so you don't need to buy them. The prices might be different in your area than in mine. You may be just a little bit more prepared than others and have a means of cooking without power. This emergency food list that I'm about to suggest to you is just a starter point. Of course, customize it for your individual family and your needs. This list is for individuals who have not thought about preparing before, but want to be prepared, to be able to feed their family of 4 for at least 2 weeks. 2 weeks if you were working solely off of this and had no other food in your home. Like I said before, if there are varying scenarios and we are just in a situation where inflation is really high or you lost your job, but we still have power, we are not in a state of emergency, you could use these items to make your other foods that you do have, the fresh things in your refrigerator, stretch out and last longer by incorporating some of these shelf-stable foods from your emergency kit. Now, because I'm a parent, I assume that this family of 4 has 2 smaller children, so you'll find that some of the other items that I include may be more for comfort than they are for true survival. And I think there's something to be said about having something familiar and comforting when it comes to food when you're in a dire situation like we may find ourselves in. We as adults may mentally be able to push through these changes and come out the other side with some sanity, but we really have to think about our children and how they are going to be affected by this emotionally. And if we can provide them some kind of normalcy with food that will help boost their spirits, we should do that. Anyway, rant over. Let's get to that grocery list. First up on our list is rice. We are looking for about 5 to 6 pounds. Each of these are 2-pound bags. I think the larger the bag you buy, the better price you get. It does not have to be brown rice, whatever you prefer. Next on our list, we're looking for 2 boxes of pasta. My local Kroger had these for $1 each box. The next few items are meant to flavor that rice and pasta. Here we have 4 cans of the Hunt's pasta sauce, also $1 at my local Kroger store. And along with that pasta sauce, we are going to grab 3 cans of cream of soup. Could be any flavor you prefer. And of course, we are going for calorie density and protein here. So we have 5 cans of beans. Does not matter the type. I have an assorted variety here, as you can tell. We're going to add these beans to our tote. And we are also going to add these 2 jars of peanut butter. I have name brand here. That's just what was in my pantry. You can certainly get generic, along with this jelly. And what we can't realistically stock in our tote with this peanut butter and jelly is bread. So we are going to put in some crackers. I have 1 box of crackers here, and we are going to use that to make mini peanut butter jelly sandwiches. And next up we have beef bouillon cubes. You could also do chicken bouillon cubes. This is really going to help flavor anything we might need to add flavoring to. Next up, of course, we have canned vegetables. Any canned vegetable variety you prefer would be fine. I have 5 cans here. I got each of these for about $1 at my local store. Although we'd love to always have access to fresh fruit, we understand that that's not always attainable, so we do have 2 cans of fruit added to this tote as well. Again, remembering that our fridges and freezers may not be operational, so having canned meat on hand, I have tuna here, is going to be essential. If you don't like tuna, then you could just stock up on extra canned chicken breast or canned beef. There are plenty of varieties. And because drinking water by itself can be boring after a while, I do have drink powder here, mostly for my children, as a treat. It's not something we always think about, but eating a diet like this for a long period of time really would be not as nutritional as we would like, so adding vitamins really does help. Going off of that grid down situation, if you have an electric can opener like I did, you need to get a manual one. In total, including the can opener, we've got about $75 worth of groceries here. And I know in the beginning I told you this was going to cost about $100. You need to go and take that $25 and invest in some water. Water is so important, yet so overlooked. You would die without water before you ever would without food. I hope this has inspired you to get started on your own short-term emergency food prep kit. In the times that we are right now, it is important to make sure we're still taking care of our families. I chose the items... Sorry, buddy. I chose the items that we did because I also wanted them to be shelf stable for several months. And if after 3 months nothing develops and we are still in a normal state, you could certainly rotate these items into your normal everyday meal planning and save from having wasted money on this food. But if you're actually interested in continuing on this emergency preparedness self-sufficiency journey, then I welcome you to join me. That's what this channel is all about. I'm going through what I've been learning myself, from making bread to couponing so that I can build my pantry. This summer I plan on learning how to garden and can fruits and vegetables. So if you're interested in doing any of that, make sure you follow along and learn with me as I go.